say does that star-spangled banner yet wave over the land of the free, yeah, and the home of the brave.
Outgear is home of the Brave. Welcome to Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania for this afternoon's NFL regular season opener, matching Tampa Bay and Philadelphia. Hi, everybody. I'm Frank Lieber, along with John Unitas. A lot of enthusiasm here, new season and all. A lot of enthusiasm back in Tampa. The folks in Tampa very excited about their young quarterback. He helped upset your team last week.
New quarterback Randy Hepburg came off the bench to play last week in his first NFL start, upset Baltimore. Would like nothing better than duplicate his performance of last week here this afternoon, Frank.
A lot of changes for the Eagles this year. They think they're on the upswing, particularly with the addition of Ron Jaworski and his battery mate, of course, who's been around a while, Harold Carmichael.
Ron Jaworski, of course, coming to Philadelphia by way of Los Angeles. Coming off a good preseason, 40 completions out of 87 attempts for 654 yards, and 13 of those completions went to Harold Carmichael, the 6'8" receiver.
Carmichael has a string going now of 64 consecutive games in which he's caught at least one forward pass. Obviously, Tampa Bay gained a great deal of confidence by that victory over the Baltimore Colts. They are very high for this game and would like to bring back to Tampa this week their first NFL regular season win ever. Been a hard year after going 0-14.
Well, it's tough, and John McKay's looking forward to this one because they have lost 9 openers in a row.
And haven't had that winning season since way back in 1966. Near capacity crowd on hand of around 60,000 fans. We're ready for the opening kickoff under clear skies, temperature around 80 degrees this afternoon and rather humid. As Dave Green, who handles both the place kicking and the punting for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, tees it up. And we're just about ready to get this 1977 NFL regular season underway. The deep man for the Philadelphia Eagles. Dropping back, number 22 on the left of your screen, that's Larry Marshall. And number 31 on the right is Wilbert Montgomery. Montgomery is a rookie out of Abilene Christian who scored 76 touchdowns in his 4-year career, and that is an all-time collegiate record. Here we go, the 1977 NFL season underway. Marshall back to the 10, 15. Larry Marshall cutting upfield to the 25, and he is stopped cold at the 30-yard line. Driven back, charge led by Mike Lemon, number 59. Let's take a look at the Eagles offense as they get set to put the ball into play. Jaworski, as we said, the quarterback starter. Same two running backs who finished the season last year with 100-yard games. The wide receivers, the newcomer there is Keith Krepfle, the tight end who replaces the departed Charlie Young, who's now in Los Angeles. And the Eagles' offensive line. The Polish rifle, Ron Jaworski at the throttle of the Philadelphia Eagles. 1st and 10 with the ball at his 30-yard line. Straight handoff up the middle. Not much fancy there. Tom Sullivan, number 25, taking the handoff. And we'll take a look at the Tampa Bay defense. They play that 3-man front, and these are the 3 guys in front. Leroy Selman missed last week's game, but he's back hale and hearty again. And the 4 linebackers who have very little experience between them. In fact, they have 7 linebackers on their team with only 9 years experience between them. And a lot of youth also in the Tampa Bay secondary. 2nd down, 6. Eagles ball at their 34-yard line. That's Hogan out to the 38-yard line. Hogan was injured a good portion of last year, but he looked like he was going to be a 1,000-yard rusher for a while, contained by Leroy Selman.
Selman's, of course, the brother act from Oklahoma. They did an excellent job last week against the Baltimore Colts, Frank.
Here's the game officials this afternoon. Red Cashin's crew. Third down. Eagles need 2 for the first down. Ball is at their 38-yard line. Jaworski's got him in tight. Smith in motion, the handoff to Sullivan, and he's contained behind the line. And the Bucs slow him at the 35-yard line for a loss of 3. It was Mark Cotney, number 33, who filled it in from the secondary, and the Eagles will be forced to punt.
Excellent play that time by David Lewis, coming in and just stripping everyone back there, Frank, and to stop that play and put the Philadelphia Eagles in a punting situation.
The deep man, Isaac Hagen's on the left of your screen, and the man on the right was Danny Reese, number 46, as Spike Jones prepares to do the punting. Nice kick. Reese at the 23, up to the 25, and stopped as he crosses the 30-yard line. So the Bucs will put it in play. 1st and 10 from their 32-yard line. Stop made by Vince Papale, number 83. And Papale is a demon specialty teams guy. Watch him here, John.
He really loves to get down there just as quick as possible before everything else sets up and get down, force a man back to the inside, keeping control on the outside. We see him right here coming in, getting ready to make the tackle. There he is on the final tackle.
All right, Buccaneers with the ball. 1st and 10 from their 32-yard line. Young man from Minot State. Randy Hedberg handing off to Ricky Bell, and Bell, the number 1 draft choice in the National Football League, across the 35 to the 39 for a substantial gain. We'll take a look at the offense here as we have a second down situation coming up for Tampa Bay. This is their backfield. Ricky Bell in there along with Ed Williams, who's been around several years. The wide receivers, none of them exactly household names around the National Football League. And the Bucs offensive linemen, they're starting 2 new guards today. Both of those guards are from Oakland and have been obtained in the last week or so. 2nd down 3 after a pickup of 7 by Ricky Bell. This time it is Williams. He takes it across the 40, and the Buccaneers have a first down at the 44-yard line. Matty Sistrunk made the stop. You saw them last week, and this ball club looked pretty darn sharp. Here's the Eagles' defensive linemen. Now, they've gone to that 3-man front too, John.
Sistrunk, Lazatich, and Harrison. Lazatich's been around for a while, so is Sistrunk, but they like the 3-man lines because they can put the pressure on them. There's great linebackers in it with Bunning and, of course, and Berge and some of the other fellows back there who do a fine job for them.
They've got a couple of rookies in that defensive secondary, too. 1st and 10, Buccaneers from their 44. Ricky Bell trying to get outside, and he is contained behind the line of scrimmage at the 43-yard line. Excellent penetration that time by Randy Logan, the strong safety, number 41, who came up to make the stop. So it'll be 2nd down now, 13, and a passing situation for the first time for Randy Hedberg. And as we go along, we'll tell you a little bit more about this young man. Tampa Bay, prior to camp, went in with 6 quarterbacks, and as recently as, 3-4 weeks ago, he was the 4th stringer.
That's like going into a war and losing all 3 4-star generals and putting a sergeant up front.
Now, they've got a lot of confidence in this young man. Great small college player. Here's Hedberg's first pass to Ricky Bell, and Bell gets it up to the line of scrimmage, and that's about it. The Eagles played it very well, particularly Bill Berge, number 66, and Pete Lazatich, number 73. That'll set up 3rd down, and still about 10 needed for the first down. Take a look at Berge here, John.
Berge's been around a long time. A great player with the Cincinnati Bengals and now with the Philadelphia Eagles. Let's watch his drop there as he comes all the way from his inside linebacker position to make the tackle on Ricky Bell. Frank Lemaster, number 55, put some pressure on Randy Hedberg that time.
3rd down, a little more than 10 needed for the first down for the Buccaneers at their 43-yard line. Here's the rookie, number 8 draft choice, and he can throw it, and he's going long and just underthrows the wide receiver, number 89, John McKay.
John had his man beaten down there. Randy just did not have the ball up high enough and long enough for him. It was thrown back to the inside just a little, and McKay was not able to get back in there.
Yeah, I'll take it back. It was Morris Owens, the other wide receiver on that side, John, so it's my error. But nevertheless, a punting situation here for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and Dave Green comes in to do the punting. Marshall, who is kind of an all-around guy, returns both kickoffs and punt returns, is back there as one of the deep men. And Marshall fading back inside his 10 and fields it at the 5. Back up to the 10-yard line, and that's it. That's normally a no-no. Coaches tell you that if it comes inside the 10, let it bounce. Take your chances of getting it on into the end zone for the touchback. So, no score here in the opening period of play. At Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, we've got 9 minutes and 54 seconds left in the quarter.
Sure is coming. The new Ford Fairmont. A new car designed for today and the years ahead. Fairmont's combined city highway mileage rating is within 2 miles per gallon of a little VW Rabbit. Yet it has almost 90% of the interior room of the Chevrolet Impala and excellent all-around visibility. And Fairmont base sticker prices for 2 doors, 4 doors, and wagons will be surprisingly low. Test drive Fairmont October 7th. Fairmont, the newest, better idea from Ford.
You work in the sky with nothing to hold on to but the wind and the cold steel beam. And it's a very long day until a whistle blows telling you it's Miller time. Time for the best tasting beer you can find. Miller High Life, America's quality beer since 1855.
You've got the time, we've got the beer. Miller beer.
Eagles have the football, 1st and 10 with the nose of the ball just outside their 10-yard line. As the Polish rifle, Ron Jaworski, looks over that defensive alignment. Jaworski's been around several years, but he actually hasn't started that many games. This is only his 10th start in the NFL. That's Hogan. Straight up the middle out to the 13-yard line. It'll be 2nd down 7 as Dave Pear, number 76, made the stop. This telecast is presented by authority of the National Football League. It's intended for the private use of our audience, and any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the Philadelphia Eagles and the National Football League is prohibited. 2nd down 7. Eagles at their 13-yard line. Carmichael to the right side. Charlie Smith is split out to the left. He's looking for Carmichael, and he throws it low.
It's a poor throw by Jaworski that time. Carmichael was there. He had a good lane which to throw the ball through, but the ball was low into the ground. Carmichael not being able to come up with a catch.
Here's Carmichael coming off the line.
As you see, the ball's low. Carmichael possibly could have had the football, but he's 6'8". He's got a long way to reach down there, Frank. As you mentioned before, Jaworski has been around for a while. He started 3 games in the NFL and won every one of them. One of those was including a 10-3 victory over the Super Bowl winner Steelers in 1975.
Made several other preseason starts, but those are the only games that he has started in regular season. Of course, he was in the middle of that Rams mess for a long time. Jaworski over the middle, and he finds the tight end. That is Keith Krepley, number 84, for the 1st down. At the 29-yard line, the man who supplanted Charlie Young as the starter, Jarris White making the stop. Big question mark for the Eagles at tight end this year.
Good catch by the tight end coming across the middle. Excellent protection for Jaworski. Number 46 right there. Hits him very, very good, but that was a pretty good surprise to the tight end. He made the catch, got a hit, and did keep hold of the football.
1st and 10. Officials spot the ball at the Eagle 28-yard line. Carmichael to the left side. Smith to the right. Hogan and Sullivan are the running backs. Nice fake to Sullivan. Again over the middle. A little bit high and picked off. Picked off by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, number 34, Cedric Brown. And Brown has carried it inside the 25 down to the 23-yard line. The fumble occurred after the whistle. So the Buccaneers get a break. The first turnover of the game will have a 1st down at the 23-yard line of the Philadelphia Eagles.
That ball looked like it just got away from Jaworski and was over top with the head of the receiver. As we're able to see, the interception over the head of the receiver. Poor throw by Jaworski. First turnover in the ball game this afternoon. The first break for the Tampa Buccaneers.
One thing Tampa Bay didn't do bad last year, and that was play pass defense. They were very respectable in that department. So let's see if they can take advantage of this break. Randy Hedberg at the throttle as the Bucs have a 1st down at the 23-yard line. The handoff to Ricky Bell. Bell caught behind the line of scrimmage and spilled for the loss at the 25. Filtering through that time, John Bunting. Number 95 with an assist from Manny Sistrunk, number 79.
Mentioning the defensive secondary of the Buccaneers, last year they had 9 interceptions for the whole season. this preseason they have come up with 10, and they're starting the season off in the right foot by picking off their first one for the NFL season.
Second down, 12 for the Bucs at the Eagle 25-yard line. Ed Williams and Ricky Bell, the setbacks behind the rookie Randy Hedberg. Bell down to the 20 and down to the 18-yard line. Pickup of 7 on that play. Found a nice hole over the left side. Just kind of picked his way through. Carl Hairston, number 78, making the stop. Tampa Bay wound up 2-4 in preseason. They beat Green Bay in addition to beating Baltimore.
Let's take a look at Ricky running this time. He has great power in those legs. As you see him coming across, breaking one tackle. Hairston in on the tackle. Ricky Bell is one of the great runners out of USC.
There's Jaworski on the sidelines looking things over. Isaac Higgins has come into the game at wide receiver, replacing John McKay. Third down and 6. And Hedberg in trouble, going to scramble. And doesn't get enough for the first down. Moves it inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. That's about the original line of scrimmage before Carl Hairston, number 78, wrapped him up.
Hedberg that time looking for the quick out over here on the left side. Was not open and elected to run, going straight up the field and trying to keep the ball in between the goalposts for the field goal try.
Green will come on to try the field goal here, which would put Tampa Bay a couple of games ahead of last year. They were shut out in their first 2 regular season games last year. Didn't even score till the third game. This attempt will be from the 25, so that will make it a 35-yard field goal attempt. Long enough, but no good. It is off to the right. So Green misfires. The Eagles get a break, and they take over offensively at the line of scrimmage, which will be the 23-yard line. No score in Philadelphia. We'll be back in a moment.
You're coming in loud and clear. Must be a realistic CB radio.
10-4, good buddies. My new 40-channel realistic. Radio Shack's got it on sale right now for only $79. I save $60. Best deal I made all year.
And realistic sure is a good brand.
10-4 on that, you can depend on realistic. They've been making them for 16 years.
The sale price 40-channel CB by Realistic. Only at Radio Shack. The Tandy Company.
Sir, we all know Mobil 1 is the oil that saves you gas. Give me another good reason to buy it.
Well, it lasts. And lasts.
How long will Mobil 1 last? We drove it 15,000 miles without an oil change. And after all that, found Mobil 1 still protects as well as new ordinary oil.
It lasts. It lasts.
Mobil 1, the oil that saves you gas, saves you oil changes.
Well, you auto racing fans got a big treat on the CBS Sports Spectacular, the Trenton 150. They got quite a lineup of fine drivers, John.
They have that. Mario Andretti, Tom Sneven, Gordon Johncock.
Al Unser and Janet Guthrie also expected to be there next Saturday, 4:30 p.m. on CBS, the Sports Spectacular. First and 10. Eagles operating from their 20-yard line. The handoff is to Tom Sullivan, and Sullivan tries the left side, moves it out to the 24. Richard Wood, number 54, wraps him up. You know, we talked about the youth of Tampa Bay, and they've got to be the youngest team in the league, averaging just 24 years of age. We were figuring it out the other day, and you look at depth, the bench strength, and actually Philadelphia is a younger team than Tampa Bay when you look at the backups only. Second down, 6. Eagles at their 24-yard line. No score, 5:50 left to play in the opening period at Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia. Here's Ron Jaworski. Little out. Hogan to the 27-yard line, bit short of the first down. As they unpeel, a whole host of white shirts in there. Cecil Johnson, number 56, leading the charge. I guess that's what you call your old safety valve, huh?
Well, Jaworski going back to throw that time. Tampa went back into a double zone coverage, a sure passing situation, leaving that little halfback to the outside open, Frank, not wanting them to get anything deep on the outside, which Jaworski likes to go to with Carmichael.
Third down, 2, and we'll listen to Ron Jaworski call the signals from his 28. Charlie Smith in motion. Jaworski back to throw it. He's looking for Smith. Smith at the 40-yard line. Couldn't hold it. Thought he had it for a moment and it got away. He was well covered on the play.
He split those defensive backs, and Jaworski laid the ball in there perfectly, but he was just not able to hold on to the football. Fine throw by Jaworski.
Jarris White, number 45, was back there covering. And once again, the Eagles, coached by Dick Vermeil. Vermeil, by the way, was the quarterback coach with the Rams when Ron Jaworski came up as a rookie. So they're not exactly strangers. Hagens is deep. On the left of your screen, number 81, and number 46 is Danny Reese, anticipating the punt. Off the toe here of Spike Jones. His first kick was for 41 yards. This one will be a little bit shorter. Bounces at the 45, takes a Tampa bounce, and will be down at the Buccaneers 47. 4 minutes, 50 seconds left to play in the opening period at Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia. No score. The Buccaneers nothing and the Eagles nothing.
This is one of the highest telephone microwave stations in America, located in the Colorado Rockies, carrying your voices, data, and TV across the country. Stations like this are operating at near capacity, and the cost of building another one like this could reach well over $1 million. So instead of building more of them, Bell Laboratories and Western Electric have made many improvements which save millions of dollars. For example, this special triode helps one station do the work of 3. Even better, it costs less than $50. And we're not just using it here, but in over 2,000 stations across the country.
The Bell system. People using technology to help keep down costs and improve service. Keeping your phone system the best in the world.
Well, we're getting warmed up today. We'll really get into high gear next week. This is the lineup of regional games. That Bear Cardinal affair should be a pretty good one, particularly.
New Orleans versus Detroit, and of course the Atlanta versus the Washingtons.
Giants are at Dallas, and the Eagles travel to Los Angeles next week. Tampa Bay, by the way, will open its season next Saturday night at home. It's home season against Minnesota. Here's Ricky Bell getting outside and picking up some yardage as he crosses the 50-yard line and is torn down by Bill Berge in the neighborhood of the 46-yard line of the Philadelphia Eagles. Tampa Bay's had pretty good field position so far, John.
Good field position. They're moving the ball. One thing that both teams are doing, they're playing rather conservative as far as their play calling is concerned, running the ball on first and second down, and then getting into a passing situation, having to throw.
Here's one that may surprise you a little bit. First period score, Kansas City leading on the basis of a 1-yard run by MacArthur Lane. The Patriots still minus those 2 big linemen. That's got to make a big difference.
Well, that sure hurts. Both those fellows, all pros, and not in camp as yet.
Second down 5. Ricky Bell right over the middle to the left and cutting back to the right, and he'll be close for a first down at the 44-yard line of the Eagles. So Bell has been the workhorse for the Buccaneers as expected. They're going to make him work for that $1 million contract, looks like. He was a leading rusher in preseason, I noticed.
Yes, he was. Also the leading pass receiver for the Bucs. Hedberg might be interesting to note that on the first touchdown pass he threw 2 weeks ago was to Isaac Higgins for 66 yards, Frank.
Third down. Bucs need a yard for the first down. They've got 2 tight ends in there. Ball is at the Eagle 44, and they give it to Ricky Bell, and Ricky has it. First down for the Buccaneers at the 41-yard line. Those 2 new guards may help. Randy Logan, number 41, making the stop. That's Bill Nelson. Remember Bill, of course, great quarterback with the Browns, and back before that with the Steelers. He's the quarterback coach. He's the guy who sends in the plays, and they use a hand system of signals.
I talked to Bill last week against Baltimore, and he liked this young quarterback that he has. Said he's strong, got a good strong arm, and he takes punishment very well.
He is a good man, good coach. Ball spotted at the 42 of the Eagles. First down. We get a whistle prior to the snap. Let's see what that's all about. The 30-second clock has not run down. There's 8 seconds showing on the clock. We have not had a penalty in the game so far, and we get illegal procedure. The preliminary indication against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And so we'll have our first walk-off of the game, which will move the ball back to the 47-yard line. Red Cashin facing off 5 yards. And Red will tell us who it was against.
False start, number 62, Tampa.
Well, that's one of those new guards, Jeff Winans. Here's another first period score for you. Browns and the Bengals in their great interstate match, and Cleveland's on the scoreboard first.
Cleveland 3, Cincinnati nothing, first quarter.
No score in our game. First down, 15 for the Buccaneers with the ball at the Eagle 47. We got 3 minutes, 25 seconds left to play in the opening period, and this time the call goes to Ed Williams. Speaking of Cincinnati, Ed spent a couple of years with the Bengals before he was picked up on waivers last year by Tampa Bay, and a pretty strong running back.
Very strong. I was talking to Bruce Laird last week after the ball game with Tampa, and Bruce said that very strong, his very strong legs, that tackling him is like hitting a tank out there. Just about pulls your fingers right out of joints trying to hold on to him.
Made a couple of yards, make it second down, 13 with the nose of the ball just inside the Eagle 45-yard line. McKay is wide to the left side. Owens in the slot inside of it. Randy Hedberg behind good protection. Boy, he's got a lot of time back there, and he had a man wide open. That was the tight end, Jack Novak. And Novak took his eyes off it and dropped. He's got to be a little sick.
As you see, a good look at Billy Nelson. He's not too happy about it, but those things do happen. Novak just took his eyes off the football. Otherwise, that would have been a long gainer.
Novak immediately comes out of the game. Whether or not that's related or not, I don't know, but I sure wouldn't want to come out of the game at that point. Well, he comes right back into the huddle. Looks like Nelson is starting to send in plays using players today, more so than the hand signals that they've been going with in the past. Tampa Bay doing an awful lot of shuffling.
Might also be noted that Hedberg that time had excellent protection back there, Frank. He did a real fine job standing back there waiting to get hit. He was able to get the football off as the Novak dropped it.
Some people say the tuner in a color TV is always going to cause a lot of problems. I say, bunk. I helped design Zenith's electronic video guard tuner.
Ordinary mechanical tuners have contact points inside that can go bad. You can get snow, flashing, or worse. But Zenith's electronic video guard tuner has no contact points, no moving parts inside. It's designed to keep your picture looking good.
At Zenith, the quality goes in before the name goes on.
Europe's most successful new car in history comes to America. Introducing Fiesta, imported from Germany by Ford. Fiesta. Now there's a car that combines dramatic performance with excellent gasoline economy. Fiesta, Europe's most successful new car in history. Test drive one at your authorized Ford dealer now.
We'll keep up with all the scores for you this afternoon. Here's another Eastern Division score. The Giants have jumped out top of the Redskins in the first period by a score of 7-0.
George Martin had a 30-yard touchdown run on interception of a Billy Kilmer pass.
All right, third down, 13. Penalty markers down, and Hedberg running out of the pocket. He's at the 50, 45, and will go out of bounds at the 37-yard line. Short of the first down, there's an Eagle who is shaken up on the play. And as we mentioned, there was also a marker down. Randy Hedberg. Well, they got buttons all over Tampa. They're popping up now saying, why not Minot? That's where he played ball at Minot State, little school in North Dakota, just 21 students. He won 12 letters there. And he played his college football in on a field that had 3,000 capacity. So it's a little different today.
Well, also those students there, most of them were women, Frank, which is not a bad thing to do, I guess.
I would say he made a good pick then in that case. Rams and the Falcons, and Joe Namath has paid his first dividend for the Los Angeles Rams as he has hit Harold Jackson with a 27-yard touchdown pass. And L.A. leads it by a score of 6-0. And apparently they missed the extra point. The injured player is Lem Burnham, number 67, who is being attended to.
Offsides, Philadelphia.
That was the marker we talked to you about a moment ago. So it'll be third down when play is back in, and the Buccaneers will need 7 for the first down, and the ball will be spotted at the 39-yard line. So they get a break there.
So far, the offensive line of the Bucs has taken the game to the defensive line of the Philadelphia team. They've moved them off the ball, Frank, which is quite indicative of the type of runners Ricky Bell and Williams are. They're able to pick up some real fine yardage on the last 2 drives.
Here's Burnham. Burnham is a Marine Vietnam veteran and a 29-year-old first-year man. That man is nearing the completion of his master's degree in psychology and regarded as a good pass rusher. Philadelphia very big with these 29 and 30-year-old rookies. They had Papale last year, who was 30 years old when he started. Here's an update for you on Kansas City and New England and the Chiefs. You know, a lot of people talking about the Patriots for the Super Bowl, and look at this.
Chiefs 14, New England nothing. It certainly has hurt New England for those 2 offensive men to be walking out of the field, off the camp.
2:28 left to play. First period, no score. 3rd and 7 from the 39. Hedberg under severe pressure, and he is dragged down at the 39-yard line in his own end of the field. That is a monstrous loss. That's a 22-yard setback for the Buccaneers. Watch the charge.
Manny Sistrunk, 79, and John Bunting, 95, coming in to force Hedberg out of the pocket. There you see Bunting and Sistrunk coming from the weak side. Of course, you like to tell your quarterbacks to get up inside, get down, get rid of the football, if possible, anytime that happens.
All right, the deep man, Martin Mitchell at the top on the right side. Low snap, but Green gets it away. And Larry Marshall, the short man, fields it at the 30, 35, and up to the 41-yard line. That's about as far as the Eagles have gotten in the entire game. Dan Ryzek making the stop, number 51 for Tampa Bay. Philadelphia 1st and 10 at its 41-yard line. No score with 1:57 left to play. Opening period.
Green averaged 41 yards per try during the preseason.
Ron Jaworski still has Sullivan and Hogan behind him. This is Sullivan over the left side and out to the 44-yard line for a pickup of 3. We might pass along the players at these 2 clubs inactivated today. The Eagles have inactivated quarterback John Walton and wide receiver Larry Sievers, who was with the Buccaneers until a couple of weeks ago. And the Bucs' 2 inactive players are Gary Huff, the quarterback, and linebacker Rick Bones. Second down. 6 needed for the first down. Eagles at their 44. Carmichael to the right side. Smith to the left. Again, it's Sullivan. This time to the 47-yard line. He's still a little bit better than 2 yards shy of the first down to Cecil Johnson. Wraps him up.
Tampa Bay's defense playing extremely well. Let's take a look at it from the end zone camera as we come off. See the run and see the good play by the defense. They played that way all last week against the Baltimore Colts, and Lydell Mitchell said it was one of the toughest games he ever played. And that was last week against the Bucs.
Third down. 3 needed for the first down. Eagles at their 47. Nothing fancy that time. Sticking with the straight handoff. It is Sullivan, and it looks like he may be short. And the offense is getting a bit of the Philadelphia raspberry from some of the fans. They're a little bit conservative.
Frank, they're going to have to mix it up on throwing first down a little bit more than what they have been doing. In fact, they've been all running up until this time. Both teams, with the exception, of course, twice with Hedberg when he was chased back there for that long loss. Now it puts Philadelphia, of course, in the kicking position. And with this guy, with Spike Jones sitting back there, he could put this one out on about the 1 or 2 yard line. I've seen him do that before.
The reason he's waving because he wanted the period to end. Perhaps he felt he had a slight advantage as the teams will change positions now for the start of the second period of play. Very slight wind blowing at the present time. No score.
Now try and forget the 10th largest life insurance company in America, Lincoln National Life. We're easy to remember.
What are you doing, cookie face?
I'm checking the air pressure in my Goodrich radials.
Snuggle Bunny.
At midnight? On our honeymoon?
We've got a long drive to Niagara Falls tomorrow. If we don't have the right amount of air in our tires, it could be unsafe. And my Goodrich dealer told me the tires would last longer.
Goodrich? You should have married that Goodrich blimp!
Tires you can trust. B.F. Goodrich. The other guys.
But, honey...
What?
Goodrich doesn't have a blimp.
Port of call, Caribbean. The Navy. See your local recruiter or call toll-free. It's not just a job, it's an adventure.
The preceding announcement was brought to you as a public service by the National Football League. Frank Lieber along with John Unitas. Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia. 4th down and a yard for the Philadelphia Eagles at their 49. Spike Jones back to do the punting, and it's a fake. And the Eagles pick up the first down. That's Frank LeMaster, a linebacker, is down to the 30 and run out of bounds at the 22-yard line.
I'll tell you, Frank, with the moves like LeMaster had, he ought to be playing back there in the backfield.
So the Eagles pull off the fake on 4th down 1. That wasn't a bad percentage play, really. Watch his moves here, huh?
Let's watch LeMaster going downfield with moves like a halfback. Right in here, oh, there's a great move by LeMaster and some good blocking downfield. Master picks up the first down, puts Philadelphia in good scoring position on the 21-yard line.
Pick up of 30 yards on a play and a first down for the Eagles at the Buccaneers 21. Jaworski, nice fake to Sullivan, floats it out to Krepfle. The tight end loses the ball in the end zone, and it's recovered by the Bucs, and that'll be a touchback. That will be a touchback, and the Buccaneers will take over at the 20-yard line. It was Jarris White, number 45, who recovered the ball. So the Buccaneers stave off that threat by the Philadelphia Eagles, and will have it 1st and 10 on their 20 when we get back to play.
Cold night, Bob. Did you put in the Prestone antifreeze?
Prestone. Who needs Prestone?
Prestone. You need Prestone.
If your antifreeze is worn out or you don't have enough, you could be in trouble. So put in a fresh fill of Prestone, too, to prevent corrosion and freeze-ups.
Prestone! We need Prestone!
Prestone. You need Prestone. Are you still chained to? Gotcha! The rechargeable Norelco rotary razor lets you walk away, free from nicks and cuts. Its 36 surgical steel rotary razor blades are safely protected inside 3 floating heads to give you a comfortable shave that's razor close, razor smooth, for up to 3 weeks on a single charge. The rechargeable Norelco rotary razor. It lets you walk away from gotcha.
Sometimes you feel like it just isn't your day, John.
It happens that way. Jaworski on a little play action pass to Krepfle right there. Gets hit immediately, and Jarris White, ever alert, picks up the ball, recovering for the Buccaneers. 1st and 10, Buccaneers on the 20.
Credit Mark Cotney and Cedric Brown with the big hit there that jarred the ball loose. That's Anthony Davis, who has just come into the game, and Davis is tripped up back at the 17-yard line. John Outlaw coming through from the secondary along with Berge.
It was a bad move by Davis. Williams was blocking his man to the outside. He should have been back up the inside as we look and see it on from our camera there.
Now to see now if the Buccaneers have made some changes here in the second period, which I believe they have. Here's an update on Kansas City, New England. The Patriots are on the scoreboard. So they're going to score a lot of points in that game. 2nd down, 13. AD to about the 18-yard line. He got about a yard back of the loss. Pete Lazatich and Carl Hairston making the stop. Jimmy Dubose is back in the lineup now at a running back position. 2nd-round draft choice out of Florida last year. 3rd down. Buccaneers need 12 for the first down. Ball is at their 18-yard line. Owens wide to the right side. John McKay is split to the left. And the penalty markers go flying.
Well, mix up on the cadence down there. One of the offensive guards thought it went on 1, and the rest of the team thought it went on 2.
Illegal procedure against the Buccaneers will cost them 5. That's the second time this afternoon they've been whistled out. Buccaneers, by the way, hope to have Gary Huff ready to play against Minnesota next Saturday night. Would you give him some experience? Of course, if Hedberg has a good outing today, I imagine Coach John McKay have a tough decision to make.
False start, number 62, Tampa.
Jeff Winans, who was guilty of the first illegal procedure penalty a little bit while ago, got flagged down again. 3rd down, 18. Hedberg back to his 2-yard line and goes down in the end zone. Incomplete. Of course, some of the fans would like to see the safety call there, or not the safety, but intentional grounding. Carl Hairston, number 78, really rolling through there, along with Manny Sistrunk, applying the pressure on Hedberg. And now the Buccaneers will be punting out of their end zone.
Let's take a look at Harrison coming in there, putting some fine pressure, throwing his man to the side, coming back to the inside. Hedberg did just get the football away. It probably could have been called intentional grounding, but it wasn't.
Green has kicked twice for a 42.5-yard average. Standing 2 yards deep. Mitchell is deep along with Marshall. Fine punt, backing Marshall all the way back to his 35. Marshall 40, 45, going for the sideline, and ripped out of bounds in front of the Buccaneers bench at the 49-yard line. Down to Nafziger. Reserve tight end off the specialty team, making the stop, so the Buccaneers will get the ball, put it in play at midfield. Still no score early in the second period.
Hey, Mom!
Oh, hiya, Sonny.
Stop sitting around, Mom. Let's take a ride in my new Ford pickup.
All right, let me drive. Hope I can handle it.
This is the one that's built tough with Ford's exclusive twin I-beam suspension and a new 4-speed overdrive option. And extensive rust-fighting materials on underbody parts.
What'd you think, Mom?
You may think I'm off my rocker. This Ford is tough.
Of all Ford trucks registered over the last 12 years, 93 out of 100 are still on the job.
Panasonic invites you to take a picture of a voice with a Panasonic cassette tape recorder.
Things was a lot different than it is now.
All with built-in mics. Some with built-in radios. There are pocket models.
Should last another 50 years.
And even some that record in stereo.
Say something. Come on, speak something.
So take a picture of a voice with Panasonic.
Say something, bark.
A woman doctor is assaulted by her patient, but she won't call in the police. That's what baffles Rafferty. Patrick McGowan stars as Rafferty tomorrow night.
Officials mark it at the 47-yard line in Philadelphia's end of the field. 1st and 10 for the Eagles. Hogan and Sullivan, the setbacks behind Jaworski, the second man. Sullivan takes the handoff, not quite to midfield. Pickup of 2 and Big Dave Pear. Number 76 closes the door for Tampa Bay.
Tommy Sullivan's big effort last year was 121 yards against Seattle.
That was in the last game of the regular season when they got 100-yard games out of both Sullivan and Hogan. Hogan wound up the leading rusher with 561 yards, even though he missed 3 or 4 games. 2nd down, 8. Jaworski in trouble behind the line, out to the 50, 45, and out of bounds at the 42-yard line. Richard Wood, number 54, the former USC linebacker, ran him out of bounds. He is very close for a first down at that point.
Council Ruloff, number 78, was almost in the backfield before Jaworski was, forced him out of the pocket. Made enough to pick up the first down.
That reminds me of you in your prime, those moves.
Frank, I look like a runaway camel going downfield when I was running.
Game has changed a little bit, I guess. 41-yard line. Spot of the ball. Tampa Bay's end of the field. First down, Philadelphia. Jaworski, sideline throw to the big man, Harold Carmichael, who makes the grab at the 33. So among other things, Carmichael's streak is intact. He's now caught at least one pass in 65 consecutive games. That's over 5 seasons.
Carmichael on a quick out pattern. Jaworski just steps back, fires it up. It's pretty hard to overthrow a man who's 6'8" out there. Washington making the tackle.
That takes it down to the 34-yard line of the Buccaneers. Second down, 3. Carmichael to the left side. Charles Smith is flanked to the right. Sullivan. Nice tackle at the line of scrimmage. Caught very nicely by Council Rudolph. Number 78 for virtually no gain on the play. Council is one of Abe Gibron's pet projects.
He's doing a fine job for him. David Lewis, number 57, played that play very well, keeping everything contained to the inside. Council Rudolph's coming off and making the tackle.
Jaworski is 4 out of 7 so far for 44 yards. He's had at least one dropped on him. Third down. Eagles need 3 for the first down. Now the Eagles send in their plays from the sidelines using signals. And they want a timeout to talk about this one. Could be a big play coming up on 3rd and 3 from the Tampa Bay 34-yard line. No score in the game with 9 minutes and 38 seconds left to play in the first half as Jaworski heads to the sideline for a word with his head coach, Dick Vermeil. So a little strategy conference. We'll tell you once again, the CBS Sports Spectacular next Saturday will be a real treat for you auto racing fans. The Trenton 150, and those are the Indy type cars, aren't they?
Yes, they will be very interesting because you have Mario Andretti, Tom Sneva, Gordon Johncock out there racing, and those fellows can push the pedal to the floor.
Absolutely. Sneva has already clinched the 1977 USAC driving title. Al Unser is entered. Janet Guthrie will also be on hand. You can see it live next Saturday afternoon on the CBS Sports Spectacular, 4:30 Eastern Time. Warm afternoon down in the field and up here as well, as a matter of fact. Temperatures in the 80s and high humidity count. It's clouded up just a wee bit, but still a bright cloudiness. No threat of rain. Eagles coming off a 4-10 season trying to improve their lot, as of course are the Buccaneers, who became the first team in the history of the National Football League to lose all of their games in 1976. Third down, 3 from the 34 of Tampa Bay. Jaworski, protection is good, just floats it out there for Krippley, and Krippley hangs on to the ball, although he nearly has his head taken off by Mark Cotney, number 33. That time he was going to make sure he had that one.
I thought Mark Cockney was going for the interception. That time Krippley just went down the middle of the double zone, and Jaworski just hung the ball over top of the linebacker, as we see Krippley making the catch and Courtney making the tackle.
So the Eagles have a first down at the 6-yard line of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Eagles this year in preseason won 3 of their first 4 games. They lost to the Steelers and the Packers. Philadelphia threatening. Sullivan from the 6, dips back inside, gets to the 5. Pickup of 1 yard. Cockney coming from underneath, doing a good job. Salmon also in there.
Sullivan on the handoff. As you see, Courtney coming in and making the tackle right there. Fine play by Courtney, number 33. Down here is where the ground gets hard to come by, Frank. Inside that 5-yard line, not much room to work in, and the linemen really have to get down and get with it.
Sullivan has rushed 9 times for 16 yards. Hogan twice for 7. Their leading ground gainer is LeMaster. Maybe they ought to put him back in there.
Krippley's got 3 for 60 yards.
Second down, goal to go from the 5. Trying to climb the mountain is Tom Sullivan, and he gets it down to the 3. It's just a whole new game, isn't it, when you get inside that 10-yard line?
Brand new offense. You have to really get thinking about the offense, what you're going to do down there where it's tight. You have very little room which to work with as far as passing the football is concerned. And the line, the offense and defense, will get a little tighter.
Couple of additions to the Philadelphia lineup. Donnie Green comes in at tackle, number 74, and Richard Osbert comes in as, I think, a second tight end here. It'll be third down, goal to go from the 3. We've got a marker down. And this is going to go against Philadelphia. 5 yards moves him back to the 8. And we'll get it from the referee, Red Cashin.
Number 74 failed to report before he came in the huddle.
Well, that happens sometimes. You get a new player in there, and that's Donnie Green, former starter at Buffalo, who came over during preseason.
I don't believe I've heard that one called in 5 or 6 years, but you have to report. It's one of the rules and regulations, something that the coaches have to be advised of, and the players have to be advised of before they go in.
Oh, that'll kill you when you get down this close. Instead of third down and goal to go from the 3, it'll now be third down and goal to go from the 8-yard line. And still, there appears to be some confusion out there. Eagle players waving toward the bench. Waving for somebody to come in. Green, who came in, went back off. Now get out the rule book. Red Cashin, the referee, having to explain the situation to Dick Vermeil, the head coach of the Eagles. All right, Green's going back in now. There's some question as to whether or not he has to stay in the game for at least one play after he reports.
You're right about that, Frank. It's just like a man bringing a play, and he can't bring it in and then take off and go back out. He has to stay in for that play.
7 minutes, 33 seconds left to play in the first half. Third down, goal to go. Philadelphia at the Tampa Bay 8-yard line. Hogan and Sullivan are the setbacks. Smith and Carmichael, the wide receivers. That's Krepley, the tight end, in motion. Jaworski in trouble. Floats it out, and he's got Sullivan by himself for the touchdown. He just waited and waited, and all of a sudden Sullivan found himself 10 yards away from everybody. You don't think he kind of shot-putted that thing?
That was a little broken play. Jaworski goes back looking to the inside for Carmichael, then decides to run. As you see, the linebacker, number 56 of the Buccaneers, comes off the play, Cecil Johnson, to get Jaworski, and of course Sullivan continues to run his pattern. Jaworski just dumping it, as you said, shot-putting it over top of the head of the linebacker.
So the Eagles have scored with 7:26 left to play in the first half on the 8-yard touchdown pass, and Horst Muhlman is their place kicker. It's good. The Philadelphia Eagles lead the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, scoring their first touchdown of the season. It's 7-0 midway in the second period.
When you're a lifeguard, you practice all you can, because saving a few seconds may save a few lives. But now comes Miller time. Time to head for the best tasting beer you can find. America's quality beer, Miller High Life.
If you've got the time, we've got the beer. Beer.
To make it in this business, you got to stay one step ahead of everybody else. So I've got something nobody else has. Sunoco's penny pinching pump. It could save you money on quality gas, like my 190, the gas that's made to sell below my regular. And most cars that run on regular can use it. Hey, if I don't want you to pass me by, I got to give you a price you can't pass up. Sunoco's penny pinching pump can fill up your tank for less. That's my way of being very friendly.
Philadelphia leading 7-0, and Muhlman getting ready to kick off. One of the fine place kickers in the National Football League. He was 10 out of 10 last year inside the 40-yard line in field goal attempts. Tampa Bay will be going with Anthony Davis. Number 28 is one of the deep men, coupled with Isaac Higgins, number 81. This one coming down to A.D. at the 2-yard line. Back to the 10, 15. And across the 22 where he stopped. You know, Davis, tackle, by the way, made by Franklin. Davis, in his collegiate career at USC, returned 6 kickoffs for touchdowns, which is an NCAA record. He had 2 in that one game, I remember, against Notre Dame.
He was beautiful to watch. All those backs coming out of USC seem to have that explosive power. Davis, Simpson, Bell.
Buccaneers 1st and 10 at their 21-yard line. Need to get some offense going. Owens in motion. The give is to Williams, who's back in there at running back. Williams out to the 23 for a pickup of a couple of yards. 2nd and 8. Carl Hairston, number 78. Give you the statistics here in the Eagles scoring drive. 52 yards, and of course guided very expertly by Ron Jaworski.
Touchdown play wasn't very pretty, but it was effective.
Well, absolutely. Ricky Bell on the carry, and Ricky is hit hard at the line of scrimmage. Tom Sullivan on the receiving end of that touchdown pass a moment ago from Ron Jaworski. 3rd down 7.
Tommy Sullivan was a 15th round draft pick by the Eagles in '72. 52 running backs were selected before he was. There's only 6 of them still remain in the game.
One problem with running backs, you don't stay around too long.
Constant pounding.
Hedberg going for the sideline throw, and it is almost picked off. Almost intercepted by John Outlaw. Hedberg has 1 completion so far in 5 pass attempts for a total of 2 yards.
Frank, they're waiting too long to throw the football as far as the Buccaneers are concerned. They're waiting till 3rd down to throw it, and they're throwing into real tough coverage back there with 8 people back in the secondary, only 3 putting a rush on. I believe that they're going to have to go to the throwing the football on 1st and 2nd down and mix it up a little more than what they are now.
Green punting. Martin Mitchell is deep, along with Larry Marshall. Marshall at the 45, hit at the 47-yard line. Belled it pretty good that time by number 56, Cecil Johnson. So the Eagles will put it in play near midfield. We'll remind you once again that we've got a great lineup of regional games next Sunday. Depending on where you happen to be, you'll be seeing one of these games. Redskins will be down in Atlanta. Giants will be in Dallas. And these Philadelphia Eagles travel to Los Angeles to take on the Rams. That's next Sunday afternoon on CBS, preceded, of course, by the NFL Today. Sullivan about the line of scrimmage, running into Johnson. I'll tell you, Johnson's made himself known.
He has. And Cotney is up there as well, turning the play back to the inside, which, of course, allowed Johnson to make the tackle.
He's one of those very active linebackers. He was a free agent who saw a little bit of action from the Steelers before coming to Tampa Bay. Most teams, you talk about what college a guy went to. With an expansion team, you talk about what pro team he played for last. Because a good many of them are still left from the veterans draft. Here's Jaworski under pressure and hugged to the earth back at the 28-yard line by Leroy Selman, number 63. There's a guy makes a difference in the pass rush of Tampa Bay. They had something like 20 sacks, but he was through for the season midway of last year, and they dropped way down after that. Jaworski's hurting a little bit.
Let's watch Selman on the pass rush as he gets rid of his man, comes through, picks Jaworski up, and just treats him a little rudely at this point. And he said, "Ouch, I'm here, you're there."
And you've been there, right?
That's right. And it doesn't feel good.
Jaworski's backup, by the way, is the veteran Roman Gabriel. And Gabe is on the verge of reaching a mark that I think you've surpassed. 30,000 passing yards. He needs 571 yards to get to the 30,000 mark.
It looks like he's going to be coming in here, at least warming up shortly, because Jaworski is walking off the field. I believe that tackle hurt his rib a little bit. He had the shoulder pad up underneath his arm. There comes Abe now. Listen to the Boo Birds.
You know, Philadelphia's tried to build, unlike a lot of the teams who build through the draft, they went the Redskin route of trying to build through trades, and consequently, their draft has been non-existent for the past several years. They didn't have a pick this year until the 5th round. And they're minus their first and second picks last year, or next year. Third down, long yardage needed for the first down, and Gabriel hits Vince Papale at midfield. That is not enough for the first down. Vince Papale, number 83, the second-year wide receiver.
Take a look at Gabriel on his first shot at playing this afternoon. A fake draw to the halfback to try to hold up a linebacker. Going back, finding Papale, who just goes down and makes a little turn inside. Not enough for the first down. It'll be 4th down, and Philadelphia must turn the ball over to the Buccaneers.
4th and 7 from this point. They faked last time. Of course, not this time. Spike Jones angling toward Higgins. Higgins at the 15-yard line gets away from one man. Higgins trying to get out of the way of one of his own blockers. Is pinned at the 15-yard line. So the Buccaneers will take it from there. Want to remind you again about the big auto race on the CBS Sports Spectacular next Saturday afternoon, 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time. You'll see the Trenton 150 Indy-type cars. Some of the big names in racing, the biggest names, will be on hand, including Mario Andretti and Gordon Johncock, Tom Sneva. Gordon's actually listed as a possible starter. He won that event last year. Turned out to be a 200-miler, but was shortened due to rain. Jaworski loosening up on the sideline, so he may be back in there. Buccaneers 1st and 10 at the 15-yard line. The handoff to Ricky Bell. And Bell gets maybe a yard. Eagle defense has been tough.
Buccaneers playing very conservative so far. They have not thrown the ball as many times as they would probably like to have thrown it, but Coach Nelson decides to stay with the running game and try to get that started.
Art Toms made the stop. He's been the workhorse for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers this afternoon. Still in the first half of play, he's carried 10 times for a total of 24 yards. It's the bulk of the Tampa Bay ground game. 3rd down, 7.
Art Toms in on a tackle last time. Playing very well. If you look around this league, you see a lot of Oakland players on all these other teams, Frank.
Bucks go with 3 wide receivers on 3rd down, 7. Hedberg looking for his second pass completion for Owens, and Owens made the grab and went out of bounds. Or did he?
All the official was over there. He's saying it's no good. It was a fine throw by Hedberg.
It was close, but apparently he stepped out of bounds as he pulled in the ball.
Let's see if we can't get a closer look at Owens this time. The ball was thrown perfectly. Well, it looks like his 1 foot's on that out-of-bounds marker over there, Frank. The official was right on top of it, as they usually are. Fine call.
4th down, 7. We've got 2 minutes and 35 seconds left to play in the first half. Bucks are backed up to their 19, and Dave Green will punt it away. Line drive type kick. This is Mitchell. Matt Mitchell fumbling. Loose football. Who's got it at the 32-yard line? A mad scramble for it. Anybody's ball. And the Eagles get a break as they recover at their 35-yard line. Looked like Mitchell didn't want to handle that thing at all. Like it was a hot potato.
Larry Mucker, number 87, was down there to force the fumble. He came back for it and kicked it himself. That ball will take some funny bounces out there.
Well, let's see. We'll look at it again. They're going to give it to Tampa, I think. A little hard to see. The ball is loose and everybody is in there, but they're going to award the ball to Tampa Bay. First they indicated Philadelphia's ball, and now they say it's Tampa Bay's ball. So the Bucks have it with a first down at the 35-yard line. And Hedberg with the quick out to number 81, Isaac Higgins, who can fly. And Higgins rolls on down inside the 30-yard line before being shoved out of bounds by Frank LeMaster. Higgins is a speedster, especially prolific at kick returns.
26-yard average in preseason on kick returns.
He led the National Football Conference in kickoff return average. Picked up 8 on that play. Second down 2 for the Bucs at the 23-yard line. As Tampa Bay goes for the equalizer. The give is to Williams, and Williams driving hard. Moving down to the 25, and he'll be close for that first down. Frank LeMaster making the tackle on him. Eagles are optimistic about this year. They seem to think, as we run down to the 2-minute warning, that they could win as many as 7 or 8 games. I don't think anybody's got any Super Bowl delusions in Philadelphia, but they look to be vastly improved. Time out on the field. We'll be back in just a moment.
Sears National Automotive Sale. Sears brings back 73 prices again on our best-selling steel-belted radio with a tough roads heritage. As low as $39.88. On sale now. If your car has over 20,000 miles on it, now's the time to drive into Sears for a free shock absorber check. While Sears heavy-duty shocks are on sale for just $4.99 each. You save over 35% at Sears.
I mean, it was really a good movie.
It was good, wasn't it?
Oh, honey, look, some poor guy left his lights on.
Larry.
Is he going to be in trouble?
Larry.
Boy, am I glad it isn't me.
Larry, it is you.
It is me.
Oh.
The Die Hard has extra power to start your car when most batteries won't. Starting soon in your neighborhood. Sold only at Sears.
Frank Lieber along with John Unitas at Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. NFL regular season opener, Tampa Bay and Philadelphia. And the Bucs trail by a score of 7-0, but they're threatening now as they have a first down at the 24-yard line of the Eagles. Owens is wide to the right side. McKay is split to the left. That's Morris Owens in motion, and Hedberg back to throw it. Big rush, gets it out, and wide open is Williams, but he can't control his momentum there. It goes out of bounds at about the 16-yard line after picking up 7 yards.
Williams would like to have had that ball a little earlier so he could have turned upfield. Just a little play action. As you see, getting the football out to Williams, his momentum just takes him outside. He's not able to turn up the field. Otherwise, he could have been down about the 6 or 7 yard line.
Well, that's 2 pass completions in a row now for Hedberg, who is 3 out of 8 for 18 yards. The ball is marked just inside the 17-yard line of the Philadelphia Eagles. It is second down, and a long 2 needed for the first down. Owens to the right side, McKay to the left, Ricky Bell. And Williams the setbacks, and it's Ricky Bell down to the 10, loses the ball. Anybody's ball at that particular point, and who got it? Eagles recover. Looked like Carl Hairston, number 78, made the recovery. Bell reaching the 10-yard line. The ball squirting backwards, and watch the wild chase for it.
He takes a real good shot right in here as you see the ball come out. Bell is not able to hold on it, and let's just watch now who's going to come up with it.
Bell made a great effort to get back to it. Couldn't quite do it. Hairston, number 78 there, wound up with the football. And so the Eagles thwart that drive. Buccaneers really stopped themselves with the fumble. Philadelphia first and 10 at their 22. And Jaworski is back in there at quarterback. So he missed just just a couple of plays.
Looks like they're going to play it conservative, Frank. Not going to worry about the 2-minute offense. Just run the clock out and be happy to go in the halftime with a 7-0 lead.
Second down. Ball at the 22-yard line. Second and 9. Hogan. Great balance. Almost to the 40-yard line. Leroy Selman in pursuit made the play. Clock continues to run. And now they're going to stop it with 52 seconds.
Mike Hogan, who was the first rookie to lead the Eagles in rushing since Billy Barnes did it in 57. Let's take a look at him. Good balance, going to the outside and then coming off that tackle, keeping his balance and going downfield.
Hogan was not a high draft choice last year. He was quite a surprise.
Another look at the play. As we watch Hogan maintain some good balance out there, good leg drive. Mike Hogan, who gained 561 yards last season, was the top on the ball club.
Eagles calling the timeout here as they're now in position where a couple of passes might get them in position to try a field goal prior to the end of the half. You know, we talked about the tight end, Krepfle, number 84, you see there in the huddle. He broke a bone in his hand in preseason and never missed a game, I understand.
Well, that's kind of tough to catch the ball with one hand, but if anyone can do it, he can.
If he comes through for him, then that makes the deal involving Jaworski really a great deal for Philadelphia.
Really fine because Charlie Young, I don't know if they ever signed Charlie Young at L.A. yet, have they?
I think they did, yeah. They finally did just before, a couple weeks before the season started. 1st and 10. Eagles from their 38-yard line, and Jaworski to Carmichael. And a beautifully timed hit, that time by number 45, Jarris White, who rocked Carmichael and got there just as the instant the ball did. Thing popped up just like a cork out of a bottle.
Jarris White did hit him very hard. I think Carmichael felt he should have had that football. I know that Jaworski did. He's kind of upset about it. But those defensive backs are taught to strip the ball away from the receiver whenever they can.
2nd down, 10 for the Eagles at their 38. Jaworski under pressure. Penalty marker down as he hits Krepfle over the middle at the 45-yard line for a pickup of 7 yards. Richard Wood, number 54, making the stop. There's the time remaining in the first half. And we had a marker down. Dropped at the line of scrimmage, which might indicate holding against the Eagles. Red Cash and the referee marks off 10, so that's what it'll be. Who's it against, you ask? Now let's find out.
Number 75, holding Philadelphia.
Stan Walters, Eagle tackle, guilty of the holding call, so that moves it back to the 28-yard line. And it becomes 2nd down, 20. Again, penalty markers flying all over the place as Jaworski gets rid of it to Sullivan, and Sullivan is bulldogged at the 32-yard line by Cecil Johnson. Well, we've had virtually a penalty-free first half with a couple of minor infractions up until this last minute or so. This one goes against the Buccaneers, I do believe. That's the preliminary indication we get. Dick Vermeil and John McKay, while they were in the Pac-8 at UCLA and USC, were 1-1 against each other. Of course, Dick was at UCLA just a couple of years before the Eagle opportunity came along.
Vermeil's been a successful coach, has McKay just about everywhere he went.
Offside, number 63, Tampa, declined.
Leroy Selman caught on the offside. Eagles decline it. Gain was bigger than the penalty. Ball is at the 34-yard line. It is 3rd down and 16. Nothing fancy there as they go back to the conservative offense. Mike Hogan met by Selman. Leroy at the line of scrimmage. And virtually no gain. So now Tampa will call time, which will give them at least an opportunity to return the punt before halftime. As you can see, we've got 17 seconds showing on the clock. Buccaneers this year are in the NFC Central Division, and that will be permanent. They'll play every team in the league this year. And then next year they go to the home basis with the Green Bays and the Detroits and the Minnesotas.
Well, the game today, Frank, has been very, very conservative on both teams, staying pretty much with the running game, not opening up as yet.
Let me ask you, how would you attack a three-man front? I mean, when you played quarterback, now that three-man thing wasn't such a big deal as it is today.
It's not. It's a lot bigger now than it has been. I'd still throw the football on first down, mix it up with your running game. And a lot of coaches feel that you can run a lot easier against that three-man front, but you also remember you have linebackers standing off there who do fill the gap, and the three-man front really messes the blocking assignments up for your offensive team.
Big rush by Tampa Bay. They had 10 men up there. Whoa! Getting loose momentarily was Isaac Higgins. And then the lights went out at about the 35-yard line. 6 seconds left. It was Mitchell who came down to make the stop, as Tampa Bay, utilizing the maximum rush there, thought they might get a break.
Be interesting to see here whether Hedberg goes for the long ball or just is ready to run the clock out.
What do you got to lose here by going for a long one?
Not a thing. Even if it's intercepted, you should be able to make the tackle.
Now, this could be the last play of the first half, and Hedberg is going to do exactly what John said, or he wants to anyway. Sees an opening, though, and going to run it, and that's going to be it. Time has run out in the first half of play as Hedberg wisely steps out of bounds. No sense in risking life or limb in that situation. So the first half ends at Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia with the Eagles leading the Buccaneers 7-0 on the strength of Ron Jaworski's 8-yard touchdown pass to Tom Sullivan. It's a game that defense and mistakes, I guess, have predominated.
Defense has been the name of the game so far. Neither quarterback doing an outstanding job throwing the football. Greffley has made some very important catches for Jaworski. Carmichael's dropped the ball a few times. Not just kind of a ho-hum football game to this point.
But you can never tell what the second half will bring, because these two teams are fairly evenly matched, and each would like a victory very badly to start the 1977 season. The Buccaneers just to get a league victory under their belt, because they know it's got to come sometime, right? But on the other hand, the Philadelphia Eagles did win 4 last year, and they feel that they can be at least not exactly a dark horse factor, but a surprise factor in the Eastern Division and knock off some of the teams that might not be looking for them.
They have the ability to do that, and of course they're fighting that 9 straight year loss here as openers. And Philadelphia with Jaworski, who's had a good preseason, and the backup in Gabriel, and saw a little bit of him earlier. It's a good football team. They have some good defensive players. The addition of the 3-man rush and 4 linebackers sitting back there, I think, has helped them quite a bit. It gives them some good help in their secondary.
You know, Hedberg has been off to a slow start, as you might expect for a rookie in his first game, but I can't help but liken it to your situation when you came in. You were a free agent. He was a low-round draft choice. But here he is filling in for a quarterback who was injured, which you did when George Shaw was injured, and they didn't get you out of there for 17 years or something like that.
Frank, he's playing a lot better than I did when I first came in. I came in the ball game in Chicago in '56. We were ahead 21-7, and when I was finished playing that afternoon, we had lost 57-21.
That was the way you started, huh?
That's the way I started.
So wonder you were around the second week then, huh?
The first pass I threw went 53 yards for a touchdown the other way.
Are you serious?
That's right.
That's something out of the book that we never knew about, John.
That's right. J.C. Caroline, I remember him well. He picked the first one off I threw, and I had the audacity to try to catch him.
Well, somebody had great faith in you, didn't they, to hang on to you after that. Halftime here at Philadelphia as the halftime entertainment gets underway before the crowd of 60,000 fans or so. It's just under capacity, which is the first time in quite some time that the Philadelphia Eagles have not sold out for a regular season game. They had some 4,000 or so tickets left as of Friday, and they had hopes perhaps of getting it close to sellout status by game time today. There's our score, Philadelphia 7, Tampa Bay, back in a moment.